about in terms of your personal regimen or diet? Do you subscribe to IF or Cohen? There are so many different diets, all meat or vegan. So, you have any particular diet?
To start with, my wife subspecializes in clinical nutrition. So I have an advantage there. My wife is an internal medicine specialist who subspecializes in clinical nutrition and who wants to subspec pag yun sa sports nutrition. So I have some sort of advantage there. When I started training, when speed was not the primary goal, it was more of developing my aerobic capacity. The goal was really, the key there was training my body to utilize fat as fuel. So that was training without food. That was the start. So I fasted. So it trains my body to actually use my fats.
So you run without
Food.
any intake?
Wala. O normally when we run, and especially at a high kanang intensity, it uses our carbs or sugar for energy. But if we run at lower intensities and we're trying to develop our aerobic capacity, it's using our fat. And to train the body to use fat as fuel is to train without food. But that was before when I started, my base. Now, because I'm more into speed,
You have to eat.
I have to eat. So I always eat. Actually, I want to lose more weight, pero I've plateaued to a certain point already. It's becoming very difficult to lose weight na.
Now that you're a certain age, you just turned 40, right?
I just turned 40.
So you're feeling the slower metabolism.
I'm actually a type of person who easily gains weight and easily loses it. But after a certain level, then it plateaus. So according to my wife, if I want to lose more weight, I have to go through like mga katimgingon, IF, kanang pakalitan. But it doesn't mean nga IF is the only solution. If
but you've done IF.
I've done it, but sparingly, because I cannot tolerate the sacrifice. I love to eat. Bala small frequent, basta nalay makaon. I wouldn't also tell people nga IF is the only solution. Okay, some people think IF is a big or solution to their problem. Once your body adapts to your IF routine, then di na pud ka lose, ana. The key there is to consistently shock your body.
Yeah.
With
Para
different
a new experience for your body.
Correct. Okay, once your body recognizes a routine,
it plateaus, then it's hard to
adapt na siya.
Break the plateau if your body's familiar with a certain routine.
Correct. So you should try another diet na sad. Na.
But you have no restrictions. You eat anything, carbs, rice, pasta.
I have to eat carbs.
Well, of course, for speed.
For energy. But basically, the ideal diet is having half of your plate as vegetables, 1/4 of your plate as carbs, and the remaining 1/4 as protein. That's the most ideal composition for meals.
But you stay away from sugar, or you indulge once in a while?
I should be staying away, but that's easier said than done.
Yeah. Okay. What about alcohol? Sometimes you can't.
I like that question.
Escape, of course, events, and
I like that
sometimes
question.
To unwind with whiskey, gin, or beer.
I have a problem called migraine. I am a migraineur, and alcohol is a trigger. So I get to escape alcohol because I know if I drink alcohol, I will develop migraine.
So you're prone to migraines?
I'm prone to migraine. In fact, they relax the muscles in my scalp prior to races. Okay, trigger is heat, trigger is alcohol, and I have a scheduled injection actually on Wednesday. They inject something here to relax the muscles. Okay, migraine man good, the muscles keep on contracting, that's why you have headache. So they basically relax the muscles here.
That's genetic, or did
Genetic.
you develop
Genetic,
that
yeah.
recently, or when you
Ever
were
since
younger?
I was a young kid.
Okay.
Suki na kog Ponstan pagkabata pa lang.
Paracetamol, all these
Ponstan
ibuprofen.
SF.
Okay. What about your role as a father, as a husband? I know
Yeah.
you have 2 kids. How's family life?
Oh, beautiful. Having 2 beautiful kids, having a very supportive wife, and always being with them is a big blessing, I would say. Not everyone has the privilege of being with their family all the time because of work.
So how do you balance your time? Like work, of course, career, family, vacations,
I like that
quality
question.
time.
I like that. I get to mix and match everything because of my flexibility. I can work from home. So when I work, my kids are around. I get to see what they're doing. I just don't leave them sa maid lang. I get to see what they're doing. Vacation, I always do racecation. So we go to like areas, different areas in the world.
To join races.
To
plus
join races, and then
sightseeing.
after the race, we go sightseeing. So you kill 2 birds
2 birds with 1 stone.
with 1 stone.
So you've been to Berlin.
I've earlier before the pandemic, I had races in Morocco, in New Zealand, and then post-pandemic, Western Australia, Berlin.
What's a standout experience in terms of the race?
I would say Berlin.
That's really the memorable one.
Because it was my first World Marathon major, and I was surprised that from kilometer 1 up to 42, you have cheering people. So much energy from
So
kilometer.
it keeps you going.
Huwag ka mo lakaw.
Maikog ka going.
Maikog ka mo lakaw kay kita ba mga endurance athletes, our tendency is we want to recover. So murag mo walk run on tataw sahay.
Yeah, more relax.
Mo relax gamay pero di ka walk run. Uy kay daghan kayong tao, and then from different nationalities. Then you see people dancing, singing while you're running, ha? Very festive. Murag sinulog na nagdagan ka. Na dito man good sa Berlin and in most world marathon majors, the race starts at 9:30 in the morning. So, mata na tanang tao. Not like sa Philippines, kung full marathon, 2 a.m. may mo start, kisa may gamata ng 2 a.m. Di, ikaw ray gadagan, ngit-ngit pa kayo. One advantage sa mga world marathon majors. There are a lot of runners as well. 47,000 runners, imagine. It's a very festive atmosphere, so I would say it's one of the best.
What about in terms of places? Any favorites? Cold places or
Cold. I love cold places.
so maybe Iceland or
No.
or
Not
Europe?
too cold.
More on
Not
Europe?
too cold. Not too cold. I would say I love fall weather. Somewhere between 10 to 20 degrees. That's my comfort zone. I actually run faster in those certain in that kind of weather condition, temperature condition. I run faster. My heart rate is lower. My heart works lesser in that kind of condition when it's colder. But I don't like it also below 10. Tugnaw na sa gaayo. Above 20, murag init-init na. So my golden temperature is 10 to 20.
Okay. I understand you also enjoy collecting cars, or you're an avid. You're a car enthusiast.
I'm a car enthusiast. I ever since I was a kid, I've always really dreamed of owning cars. We just didn't have the money to buy those cars. even when I was in Sacred Heart, the car bringing me to school was a Tamaro FX when most of you guys were probably riding in Pajeros or diba? So I was definitely thinking about one day I could be able to buy my own
dream car.
And I had my first dream car when I graduated in high school. I was awarded for my good grades. I was awarded a Honda Civic SIR. And that was a very nice car at that time. And
it's still around?
It's still around. That car is very close to me. That I restored it.
Sentimental.
Car. So that car, I spent around more than 3 million pesos to restore a 700,000 brand new car.
You spent more.
I spent more to restore it because we
put
a lot of mga Mugen parts that I could not afford before. And then of course other cars came like.
What are your favorite car brands?
Definitely the best would probably be a Ferrari or probably be a Porsche. I would say.
So the luxury cars.
I mean, it's not only luxury. Cars. I think that a lot of people think these cars are, showing off or maybe it's flaunting. But the truth is, these are cars with precision engineering, performance. These are actually works of art. So, it's a lot of people think na, you're just trying to let people envy you for.
I think it depends on what one is chasing after.
Perspective, right? Depends on the perspective.
But of course, someone like you who's worked hard throughout.
Yeah.
So you can pat yourself in the back and indulge once in a while.
Yeah, but I when I buy a car, I look at the workmanship. I look at the precision engineering that goes into it, the performance, and I appreciate that sometimes it's handmade, or even if it's not handmade, that the number of hours that has been
detail
spent,
that goes into it.
Correct, diba?
The heritage behind it.
The heritage behind it, the history behind it. Because I'm a car enthusiast. I mean, there's a difference between a Toyota Innova, for example, and a different luxury sports car, for example. I mean, how many hours do you do one Innova compared to a sports car? What material do you use for an Innova compared to a...
Of course, more high-end, more premium, so you also get more value.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, what about bigger cars like Defender or Land Rover Defender or SUV types?
I am actually starting to appreciate cars that can sit my family.
Vans,
my G car, which I converted to a Brabus. Even a mid-sized SUV is something that actually something that I like now, because I don't have to worry about humps, about potholes. My preferences are starting to shift to more practical cars. But I still like the car with 2 doors and 2 seats.
Okay. Other hobbies or other things you want to
I love to play basketball. I still play basketball once in a while. But of course, playing basketball is a distraction from my marathon and triathlon training, because
it's very different.
It's very different. In basketball, you have to
teammates,
accelerate. No, you have to.
That's one. Well,
that's one. But of course,
also.
in triathlon, there's also such thing as in any sport there is. But the problem with the sport of basketball is you have to accelerate so fast, and then you have to stop. And that's a different muscle memory needed.
Yeah.
Or you have to do lateral movements.
Different skills. Also.
Yeah, and there's physicality, but I enjoy it. So once in a while, I play as well.
I understand you sponsored for Shaba, or you're part of the committee.
I'm actually the chairman of the current chairman of Shaba. Shaba is of course our alumni basketball league
Sacred Heart. You're batch 2000. Right?
Yeah, I'm batch 2000. I really love supporting our batch because our batch is, of course, they're all very close to me, and I like the spirit and passion of my batch. We've won 3 championships together, so I've seen the heart.
Yeah, high school never ends.
High school never ends, and yeah, we have a lot of fun. It's Shaba is really, in as much as it's a lot of competition that goes on in Shaba, to the point that it becomes so physical. I think Shaba's essence and goal is really to bring us together once again, enforce camaraderie and oneness.